Uh, 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 So hi guys, everyone. Yeah, sorry for the bit of a delay. I had a bit of a problem with the starting streaming, but I think it's sorted out. Now, just want to test the audios first. Can you hear me clearly? Okay. So this is a microphone. Test, test, test. Hi. Hi there. Gabriel. Can you? Yep. Okay. Thanks. Thanks, Robert. Okay. He can hear me. That's good. And now just test the Dexed sound. Sorry, that's not DX7. Alright. Now I'm gonna switch the scene. Just a moment. Movie. This one here. Great. Yeah, that's okay. Something's not right. Oh, okay. There you go. Whites. Great. No. Okay. Good here. Okay, thank you. Alright. I'm just having a card parameter cartridge. Oh, yeah. Just a moment, I'm just gonna load the True Bells patch. Alright. No. Close. Here. Okay. Yes, this is the first time I'm gonna be using what do you call it, VSD in a live session. So it's a bit of a tweaking and so forth. So I hope this is gonna be a good session. I think I noted out the sound and everything. Thank you for joining. JCKCPA. Okay, so we can start with just give you an overview about the tube belts first. If you haven't watched my tutorial, the DX7 version, that's okay. We're gonna be able to quickly cover the sound design of the original DX7 tube belts. So I'm gonna change the scene. Oh yeah, that's okay. So this is what we're gonna be looking at. Okay. All right. All right. So let's get started. Okay. Now, the reason I decided to do the Dexed version is that, as you know, there's a limited number of DX7 circulating in the market, and not everyone likes the DX7's interface. I can totally understand that because I struggled initially back in 1986, scratching my head. It was a painful experience to finally understand how it works and so forth. So I totally understand that, and it's Dexed offers a more visual interface that is simpler for a lot of people to understand FM synthesis. So I thought it would be good to have a dedicated Dexed live sessions or tutorials for making those DX7 sounds that I've already put on the tutorials. So starting with tube bells and the electric piano, so the E piano one, as well as the fruitings, and then move on to vibes, and then planning for more sound design that comes. So this is the first session of the Dexed tutorial, and I hope you guys gonna be enjoying this. We're gonna work together to gradually building different change parameters and creating a different version of tube bells. Okay. So let's get started. So yes, this is for Dexed users. If you got DX7 marker, that's fine. But if you don't have it, but you wanna learn about FM synthesis with a better, easier to understand interface, the Dex is probably the best way to go. It doesn't cost anything, but it gives a starting point. Okay, so what is covered? So we're gonna cover the overview of DX7 tube bells, and we're going to develop a plan of attack and make changes to the original DX7 tube bell sounds, so to make the new version, the improved versions. Excuse me. So you can go to the website, the way you can download the Dex. I'm assuming that you guys already downloaded and you have in your system, computer, whatever, and so we can work on straight away. If you don't, I can run another session if this session is really popular. I usually run 2 live sessions and then post the bilingual versions. There's a Japanese people that want to learn about DX7 FM synthesis, so I'll do that as well. And you can, if you haven't watched that, you can go back to watch my tutorials for the DX7s, but just explain the sound design. And you can skip the improvement tutorials because you can just watch this tutorial. Okay, so that the tube belts revisions, what we're gonna do. Now you can see algorithm is 5. You got 3 towers. We're gonna go through that. So algorithm 3 towers. Now these 3 towers, that means you got independent units. So operator 1 and 2, it's separated from operator 3 and 4 and operator 5, 6. And basically those sounds get mixed together. So in some ways similar to additives, or just like in the analog synthesis, you got 2 oscillators and it just mixed together. It's basically the same concept. Frequency, that's changed the pitch and so forth of the each operator. So that's operator is the oscillator, DX7 FM synthesis version of oscillator, and with the envelopes and the key velocity, sensitivity, and so forth. So it's got a bit more parameters to that. And the frequency tower 1 or 2 have the same very inharmonic content. Inharmonic content, it can be generated with a frequency ratio of instead of 1 and 2 and 3, and you can go into that, I guess somewhere in between for 3.5. So between 3 and 4, there's 3.5, 4.5. That kind of ratio would generate inharmonics of the tone. So it gives that nice bell metallic tone. Detune. Now you see that detune at analog or subtractive synthesizer as well, and the detune gives a smooth chorus effect. So set up to give a smooth chorus effect. Itchy stomach there. Now, envelope generator. You got tower 1 and tower 2 have the same envelope generators. And the envelopes are set as a single decay type envelope. Again, this means that it's actually the same as an ADSR envelope. So you got attack and decay. That's it. So single decay type envelopes. And the tower 3, so operator farm 6 is designed for attack tone. That's it. So it's very quick, just bum, very nice and short attack tone, and then that's that. Oh, sorry. So keyboard rate scaling applied slightly to all operators. The keyboard rate scaling, what they do is to shorten the envelopes so that on at the higher notes. So when you play at the lower notes, it's got a nice long envelopes, but when you move up to higher notes, envelopes get shorter and shorter and shorter. It's basically trying to emulate the acoustic instruments, because for example piano or a harp, you can see that the strings getting shorter as you go up the notes or in higher pitch, because that the vibration is going to be short, the wavelength is going to get shorter and shorter. So that's a kind of physics, kind of emulation of that physics. So that's what the keyboard rate scaling is about. Output levels are adequate, producing enough modulation and at maximum volume. So each operator or oscillator, you can call it, it's got output level, and depending on where the operator sits in terms of whether it's going to be a modulator or a carrier, it can change to a volume or the output or modulation. So that's the differences. We can discuss about that in more details. Now, key velocity sensitivity is applied only to operator 5 and controlling the volume of attack. So that means that tower 1, tower 2, basically you can press harder or softer. There's no tonal changes, but only operator 5. That means only tower 3 get affected. So which is strange, but that's how it's been designed. So in terms of planning, what we want to do is based on the original DX7 tutorials, we will aim to make a more expressive tube bells with a sharp and solid attack, decay with a smooth chorusing. So we're gonna keep the nice chorusing effect, but with a solid and sharp attack. So when you press key and the attack tones, it gives that more, I guess, realistic metallic sounds. It's got more harmonics richer in some ways. So that's what the aim is. And we will make a simple improvement first, because there's so many ways to make that kind of improvements. So we not necessarily can tackle everything at once, but we can break it down and so just do little bits and then move on to next and then move on to next, and then we get to make the final kind of improved tubers using Dexed. So to make a simple improvement and to make attack tone more prominent, the first thing we can do is to adjust envelopes. That's probably the simplest ones. And I can explain it to you in 1 second. So now we don't need to go through each envelope now, but I've got this table here that shows you all the envelopes from operator 1 to 6 and from rate 1 to rate 4 and the level 1 to level 4. So let's go through that because it's really important to understand the envelopes. Now, as you look at the rate 1, it's the value is operator 5 is 76, but it's anything above 70, and it's other rest is over 90. It means it's got the faster attack rate, so faster speed. So you're gonna get crack, crack, crack. So when you tap it, and envelopes quickly reach to the maximum. So so that the level 1, it's all 99. That means at the maximum level. So when you press the key, it goes straight to the level 1 at a faster speed. Now, the rate 2 have a bit of a slow decay. So you could look at the operator 1, 33, operator 2 is 12. Now remember, operator 5, 6 are just for attack tone. So it's going to be like a gate effect or a pum, and it's just very percussive and it just stops. So that means, that means that rate 2 is very, very fast. So 78, 91 is very fast rate 2. So decay is very, very, decay is, the speed is very fast. That means the envelope is decay is going to be really short. So bang, that's that. So decay stops at level 2. So if you look at the level 2, it's all 0. That means it goes up at level 1, goes down, and then to the minimum level, so 0, and that's that. So it's a single decay type envelope. So ADSR. So if you look at the ADSR, you get rid of sustain, and you just have an attack and decay, and that's that. Now, rate 3 is set up 71 and so forth, but that's redundant because level 2 is 0. That means there is no level 3, although that's for the maybe for the operator 5 and 6, but strangely enough, the level 3 is for operator 1 to 4, it's got this 32. So that means if you press key longer, and you will hear the sound. So let's see. Hear that? That's a sustained sound, very, very faint sustained sound kind of comes up after that slow decay, and I can still hear that. So that's that. That's a weird effect of this sound design, which is not necessary. I don't understand why that's been designed like that, but to me, we can get rid of that and then make it a really nice tube bell sound. So we're going to tidy up the envelopes. So let's visualize what's going to be like. So original envelope is rate 1's greater than 90. Some of them was 71, but 76, that's operator 5. But if you look at that, generally it's higher value. Level 1 is always 99, and rate 2 is less than 40. So basically, it's just about that one decay type. It's got attack and one decay type envelope. So, but it's a simple ADSR type envelope, but not utilizing the DX7 and the flexible envelopes. So So what we need to do is we're gonna be making changes to that, and this is what we're gonna be. This is what we're gonna do. So new envelope is to use the DX7 flexible envelope generator. So you can have a first initial decay, and you can have a second decay. So you can have two decays in that envelope. So we can control rate 2 and level 2 to set the whether the second initial decay is going to run and the second decay starts, and the rate 3 and rate 3 and level 3 is going to be control. It's going to control the way that the final envelope, so the decay is going to stop. So that's what we're going to do. So you got the initial attack and the first decay and second decay. Okay. So what we're going to do is we're just going to focus on operator 1, 2, 3, 4 initially, and we're going to tidy up the envelopes. So what we're going to do is change the rate 2 and the level 2, and change rate 3 and level 3. So that's our aim. We don't need to change rate 1, rate 4, level 1, level 4. No. So just focus on the things that we need to change. So yeah, it's about I guess the tip for changing envelope is to just focus on things that you think it's most important, and you just try to adjust that. And when you make changes that you're happy with, and then you move on to next, instead of trying to adjust every parameters at once, because then you get confused. So that's the tip for that DX7 or FM synthesis sound design, because it can get really complex. It's not straightforward as the analog synthesizer, for example. Okay, so we're going to be using a Dex in a minute, and what we're going to do is to use operator on-off switch, next operator number, to turn off operator 3 and 4, 5, 6. And then we can go through that. I'm going to change the scene, and you get to see the Dexed interface, and we can just go to we're gonna do that together. And use operator on-off switch, next operator number, to turn off operator 3, 4, 5, 6. We will make simple payments with envelopes first, and we're gonna start with operators 1 and 2 only. So what we're doing is to isolate the operators that we're gonna work on, so that you're not gonna be jumping onto many operators at once. And this is really important, because it doesn't matter how much the level of experience you have. The FM synthesis, you need to really focus on a few parameters at a time, and then move on to next. Otherwise, it just gets too complex, and you kind of get lost. Okay. So let's work on carry operator 1. So we're gonna do. All right. So let's change that scene. Okay, here you go. So now this is screen for that Dex. What about that? Sorry, Dex. The interface. I'm running a Logic Pro X. You don't see the Logic Pro X on the screen, but I'm just showing that as a plugin of the Logic Pro X. This is a Dex interface. Okay, so what we're gonna do is to work on that. The turn off operators 3 and 4, 3, 4, 5, 6. Let's do that. So in order to turn off the operators, now you can see that the operator numbers 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and the interface towards top of each kind of like a square thing that contains that operator parameters, and basically you can there's like a little switch on the side to the numbers. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and you just basically click it. And the numbers kind of it's, at the moment it's white, but it's gone dark, so you can't really see the number. So for example, so here you go. I can try on the number 3. Now, can you see that? So I'm just gonna check, make sure everyone's on the same page. So I just turned off operator 3. Can you see that? Okay. So I just turn it off the operator 3. So you can't see the operator 3, the number 3 that disappears. And then we can do that same for operator 4. Now that's numbers gone. Operator 5, numbers gone. Operator 6, numbers gone. So let's just press the key. There you go. That's that. Operator 1 and 2. So you can see the level meters there. That's output is coming from operator 1 and 2. Okay. So that's that. So that's we turn it off the operators, and we're gonna move on to operator 1. Now, I'm gonna change the scene. Okay. So this is what we're gonna do. The next step is we're gonna work on operator 1 envelopes. So at the moment, late 3 is 33, late 2 is 33, late 3 is 71, level 2 is 0, level 3 is 32. But what we're going to do is we're going to try something different to that. So late 2 is slow decay. So keep it as it at the moment. So we're not going to touch that. What we're going to do is change level 2 to a higher value. Try 95, 90, 85, and 80. What will happen to the sound? Okay, so let's try that. So go back to the screen, just toggling around. Yeah, okay. So operator 1. Level 2. Okay. Now this you can see a little graph of the envelopes on the screen. Operator 1, then it's egg level and egg grade underneath of that, and we're gonna focus on the egg level 2. So can you see 1, 2, 3, 4, and there's an egg level 2. So if you hover the mouse over to egg level 2, you should be able to see what's operators. Operator 1 egg level, yep. Operator 1 egg level 2 equals 0. So we're gonna push up the knob. So we're gonna push up knob to 95 first. Okay. So once done that, let's just try and listen to the sound. Interesting, isn't it? It's like a gate effect. Okay, so 95's done. We're gonna put that to 90. Okay, so you get a bit more better sound there, but still get chopped off quickly. So still have the gate effect. 85. Yeah, you have to keep press the key to get the envelopes going, so that the attack part it gets extended, but still have that kind of gate effect. Okay, so then it's gonna go up down to 80. Okay. So as you can see from that envelopes, oh, monster just click. Yes, alright, monster just click. Hi there. We just started. Okay, so what we have doing that. That's right. So we changed that level 2. Sorry, should be 80. Okay. So what's happened is that yeah, we kind of having this gate effect, and the reason is that if you look at the envelope parameters, so it's operator 1, rate 3, it's 71 now. That because rate 3 is just too fast, so that the decays is basically happen almost no decay, so it's kind of becoming like a gate effect, so suddenly it just gets chopped off. So that's what we are hearing at the moment. So now, as we discussed before, that we need to have a slower, we need to have a level 2 lower than level 1 to have attack and decay. So because we're going to have a first decay, the attack sound, king, the attack tone, and then you have a second decay, kind of sound that kind of not sustain, but it's gradually disappears. And so that if you set level 2 99, then it's going to have the same as level 1, level 2. That means basically you don't really have that 2 decay type envelope. You just have that single decay. And then based on the level 3, that's the decay that you're going to have. So we need to have a bit of difference between level 1 and level 2. So you have to have level 2 slightly lower than level 1. And we're going to set it to 95 to give a bit of attack. So okay, I'm gonna change the scene. Sorry, that's the one. Sorry. Okay, so we're gonna change that. So we're gonna change the operator 1 level 2 to 95. So we're gonna have a bit of difference, little bit of difference from level 1, but that gives enough kind of for initial attack, initial decay to keep that the nice sharp attack tone. And then we can work on the rate 3. So we're gonna change rate 3 to slower decay. Sorry, I'm gonna change the scene there. Alright, here you go. Now, so we're gonna change rate 3 to slower decay, and we can try 50, 30, 20, and 10. We want to see what the effect of the changes. So based on the changes, we're gonna make a decision to which number we're gonna set. Okay, let's do that. So go to operator 1, rate 3. At the moment, rate 3 is set up 71. So we're gonna reduce that to first, it's gonna be 50. So let's do that. Okay, so rate 3 is 50. Let's hear it. Now you notice that there's a bit of a slight decays there, and that the envelope, the graph showing a bit of decays there as well. Okay. Now let's change to 30. Okay, now it's changed to 30. So we change the operator 1, envelope the late 3 to 30. Okay, let's press a key and hear the sound. Here you go. It's more like that bell sound, isn't it? It's got the nice decay tone. Now, so we did 30. We're gonna try 20. So we're gonna change late 3, operator 1 late 3 to 20. Now, what I'm showing you is to not just work on one parameter and set it to one value. You should try at least 3 or 4 different values and see which one works better. If you don't do that, you may kind of miss out on some interesting sound design. So yeah, so the tip is to, if you want to work on one parameter, let's try different range of numbers and let's see what's going to happen, because you just never know. Okay, so this is going to be late 3, it's 20. So it's getting a very, very long decay. And let's try 10 now. What will happen? Well, it's likely that's going to extend, because as the late 3 is going down, that means envelope's going to get longer and longer. So let's hear that. That's just very long. So unless you're planning to make a very, very long decay bell sound, you can't really use that kind of long decay. So we're not gonna go that long decay. And I think based on what we hear, late 3 seems to be 30 seems to be a really good sweet spot. So we're gonna change that late 3 to 30. So we're gonna make changes. Okay. Oh, sorry, I forgot to change the scene, didn't I? Sorry about that. So, okay. So what we did was change the late 3, 50, 30, 20, and 10. So at the moment, late 3 is, let's have a look. Where is it? This one? Oh. Here you go. Late 3 is 10. That's too long. So we're gonna push back to late 3 is 30, because that's a sweet spot. Okay, oh, is it 30? Yep. Okay, once you set it to 30, let's hear the sound again. That's better. Now, the next one's going to be the tricky part. Well, not tricky, but that's the really old part that we are having at the moment. Okay. The last part we're going to do with the operator 1 envelope is a level 3. Now, if you look at level 3, at the moment set it to 32. And the level 3, it's the ADSR equivalent of sustain. Level 3 determines the level of sustain sound, and bell sound, we don't need the sustain sound in this case, because we kind of trying to emulate the two bells. So we can get rid of the level 3, and we're going to set the level 3 to 0. That's all we have to do for level 3. Okay. So, yeah. So we're going to change that. Level 3 to level 3 to 0. So level 3, operator 1, level 3 is 32. So we're going to push it down to 0. Now, you see the change in the graph as well. So you got nice slope there. You can't really see that the initial decay. You can only see that the kind of second decay is there as a main decay. That's the kind of downside of the what we call Dexed this envelope graph one. You can use as kind of I guess what do you say? Yards. Sorry, it just gives a nice representation of the envelopes, but when you need to do really fine-tuning the envelopes, you can't really use that. So you have to go with the envelope data and then finally adjust the envelopes to get like an initial attack and decay, and then you got the secondary decay. You can't really see that on this one. So that's the kind of yeah, you have to be aware of that. You know, it doesn't accurately reflect what you're doing. So just be careful not to rely on too much on this envelope graph. Okay, so that's what we've done. So basically, we got rid of that sustain sun for that operator envelopes. So we shouldn't hear any sustain. Excellent. Now, so that the decay kind of stops at level 3, and there is no sustain. So that's what we've done. Okay, so switch over back to that tutorial slides. So we finished this operator 1, and so we're going to move on to operator 2. Now operator 1, because it was carrier and it controls overall volume, and now we're going to move on to operator 2, which is a modulator, and this is more like the you can say VCF because it's kind of can control the harmonics of a sound over time. So that's what we're going to focus on. So again, here it is, the operator 2 and 1 envelope data. And if you look at right 2 and left 3, that's what we focus on to change, as well as level 2 and level 3. So at the moment, rate 2 is slow decay. So we look at operator 2, rate 2, so it's 12. And you need a faster decay for making sharp attack. So we're going to try to 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, and 70. Okay, let's try that. Okay, now we got the Dexed interface. So we're going to be working operator 2. Make sure I put the operator 1 on as well, operator 1 on, because operator 1's basically receive a modulation from operator 2 and output the sound. So if you turn off operator 1, you won't hear anything. So let's try that. Press a key, see? Now you can see operator 2 is output something, it's a modulation, but because operator 1's turned off, you won't hear it. So make sure you always have a carrier operators on for the corresponding modulators. Now, so we're going to look at the envelopes. That's right. So we're going to try changing the rate to 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, and 70. So let's do that. Okay, so operator 2, so I'm in that operator 2, and rate 2, so egg rate, it's the bottom of the level 1, egg level is next to that envelope graph, and its egg rate is at the bottom, level 2, so we're gonna increase that. What's this operator 4, there you go. Okay, so operator 2, egg rate to 12, so we're going to increase that to 20. There's a bit of a stream kind of audio dropped off, but no, it's okay. What's happened? Oops. Accidentally changed that, so that's that. Rate 2 it's 20. Now you will hear the shortening of envelope. Now we're going to write to put to 30. Okay, let's hear the change. Yeah, you can clearly hear that the envelope's getting shorter. So let's try 40. Yeah, very short. Now let's try 50. And let's try 60. It's very short. And let's try 70. So it's almost like a marimba or something, isn't it? So because we created this attack tone and without that long decay, so it's very, very short kind of percussive sound. So the faster that the faster the rate is, the shorter the envelope becomes, and the rate to 70 is just percussive sound. And what we're gonna do is to have a bit slower rate but still faster, because what we want to do is to have that initial attack and decay to keep the sharper metallic tone, and we're gonna have a nice longer decay, the second decay, to finish off the tube bell harmonics or inharmonics. Okay, so we're gonna change the egg rate, back to 70, no, sorry, 60. So we change the operator to rate 2 is to 60. Okay, so let's see that. So this is what we've done. So we changed that. We changed the rate 2 to up to 70, and the 70 is just too fast. So we set it to 60. And we're gonna see the next the impact on that. Let's change with that we're gonna make to rate 3 and level 2, level 3. So change level 2 to higher value. So we're gonna try 95, 90, 85, and 80. So that's like just like what we did before for the operator 1. So we're gonna do that. I'm gonna switch the scene and bring the Dexed window in front, and we're gonna make changes. Okay. So level 2. So we're gonna change operator 2. Level 2, at the moment it's 0, so we're going to push it up to 95, so going down a little bit. Okay, 95. Excuse me. And then we're going to change to 90. Change to 85. Basically, we just checking what the sounds like at the lower value. Still not much change in terms of the characteristics of sound, and then this is because because operator 2 rate 3 is 71, and again it's going to be too fast. But what we're going to do here, it's like what we did with operator 1. We're going to set the level 2, it's 95, because what we need is only a bit of difference from level 1 to level 2, and that gives enough sharp metallic attack tones, and then we can use that operator 2 levels 2 to determine that what do you call it, the second or main decay that we're gonna have for tube bells. Okay, so bring that up. So level 2, we're gonna change level 2 to 95. Oh, sorry, going down. Okay, yep, 95. Here it is. Done. Okay. Now, once we've done that, we're going to change rate 3 to slow decay. So we're going to try 50, 30, 20, and 10, just like what we did with operator 1. I'm going to change the scene, bring the Dexed interface in front. Then we're going to make changes of try 50, so rate 3. Okay, so make sure select the rate 3. So I'll put the mouse on operator 2 rate 3, and which is 71. So we're going to reduce that to 50 first. So let's do that. Okay, so that's a 50. Let's hear it. You have to keep press the key, so make sure that you understand the envelope. Make sure that the envelope actually moves from start to finish. Now, the main decay, the secondary decay is still too short, so we need to change that. So rate 3, 50. You want to change that to 30. Okay, so now it's 30. Let's hear it. It's getting better, isn't it? So that the decay envelope is getting longer. So we set the initial decay rate 2, but now we're working on level 3, sorry, rate 3. So this is a second decay. Okay, so that was what was it? 30, we're going to put it to 20. It's getting longer. So we're going to put it to 10. Let's see that. So that's the sound that you get for that, and I think rate 3, 10 equal 10 gives enough long decay, so we can set it as 10 for rate 3, operator 2. And the last thing that we need to do for operator 2, just going to change the scene, is to set level 3 is equal to 0. So we're going to get rid of that with sustain sound, and the overall decay stops at level 3. So I'm going to change the scene again, and we go to the Dex, and we're gonna make change to level 3, operator to 0. So at the moment, operator 2, level 3 is 32. Now, done. So level 3 is 0. Let's change the scene again. Okay. So what we're going to do is to copy the envelopes. So we need to copy operator 1 envelope to operator 3, and we need to copy operator 2 envelope to operator 4 envelope. Now this functionality, I didn't know that it exists on Dex, but thanks to viewers who provided me with information how to basically adjust the copy the envelopes and paste the envelopes. So thank you very much for that, and I can show you how to do this. Okay, so I change the scene, going back to the Dex, and we're gonna copy the envelopes. So what we're gonna do is put the mouse or near the envelope graphs. For example, like next to EG label, the text, the label that you can see, and you can do control click, the right click, and they bring down copy operator values. So that is, will display this contextual menu or drop down list and select copy operator values. Now, once copy it, so because we copied operator 1, so we're going to paste to operator 3, and let's paste it. So put the mouse, for example, again, near EG label, the label, and click, right click, and then bring the contextual menu. And you have a selection here. And what we want is paste envelope values. Here you go. Now you see the changes from the one that had a sustain for operator 3, the envelopes. Now change to basically same as operator 1 envelopes. So the copy is quite simple. We're going to do the same for operator 2. So let's put the mouse egg label next to egg label and the control click, copy operator values. Now once it's done that, bring the mouse to operator 4, egg label, the label. Next to it, you right click, and bring the menu, drop down list, and select paste envelope values. Bam, there you go. You saw the sustain suddenly disappeared, and that's what we want here. So we copy the envelopes now. So let's go back to that. Defines the tutorial scene. Okay, so that's what we've done. So now we got the same envelope. Operator 1, operator 3 have the same envelope. And operator 2 and operator 4 have the same envelope. Sorry. So yeah. Now, so let's hear the sound. Okay, change the scene again. Switching from one scene to another. Okay. Now, it may be difficult to I guess hear the difference, but there's definitely a difference, because what we've done is to have a operator 2, level 2, 95. That means that when you press a key, envelope goes up to level 1 quickly, and then goes to level 2 quickly. So that means level 2 is 95, so it's less than that 99. So there's a 4 increments difference. and it's a quite a significant drop. So the volume kind of our output is kind of gets softer because we introduced the initial attack and the decay, and you got the secondary decay. So what we need to do is push up the output level a little to compensate for that drop in volume and modulation. So that's what we're going to do next, and what we're going to do is now is to revise what we've done so far. So revision, quick revision. We made changes to envelopes to provide sharp attack. Use the DX7 flexible envelope to have attack and decay using rate 1, level 1, rate 2, level 2, and rate 3 and level 3. We use the copy function to copy envelopes to corresponding carrier and modulator. Yes, we did that. Our tone became softer. Yes, as explained to you, that because we set the level to 95 and we have a very fast attack and faster decay to level 2, so that the sound got softer because now not necessarily staying at the 99 longer, but it goes to 95 very quickly, so the sound became a bit softer. So next step, so we need to make the sound brighter, and how they do that, we're going to go to output level. So we will make changes to modulator output levels, making brighter. Okay. So when we change modulator envelopes, the envelope reaches to level 2 very quickly. As level 2 is 95, there's a slight decrease in frequency modulation output level. So the another useful tip is that the envelope and the output level goes hand in hand. So you have to understand the relationship there. So we can control the amount of modulation applied to operator 2 and 4 by adjusting the output level accordingly. Now, so just to give a bit more, detail around that, the envelope and output level. So basically, output level defines the upper limit of how much envelope can go in terms of the, amount of volume or modulation. And once you set that, then you can have an envelope. You can have a single decay type or 2 decay type to control the volume as well as the modulation over time. So that's what the relationship is. So output level means upper limit, and the envelopes just control the output within the upper limit, and with the envelope the rate, that's going to determine that length of that envelope. So it's a time dependent as well. Okay. So now we're going to go back to we've got a Dexed screen, and what we're going to do is we're going to turn on operator 3, 4 as well, and we're going to adjust the output levels. So let's turn on the operators 3 and 4 first. Okay, change the scene. Okay, bring that to Dex. Okay, we're going to turn on operator 3 and 4. So move the mouse within the operator 3 kind of box there, and there's number that you can't see because it's switched off, but you got the top section, you got the frequency ratio and fixed. Next to it there's a little switch, and we're going to turn that on. Now you can see the number lights up, so that means that the operator 3 is on, and we're going to do the same for operator 4. So go to that operator 4, the number, next to the number, there's a switch, turn it on, operator 4. And the useful thing about the Dex is that you can see in the algorithm screen here, next, well, just above the key in the center, you can see that the algorithm is 5, and you can see the operator 1 and 2 and 3, 4 is on. You can't see operator 5, 6 because it's at the moment it's turned it off. So that's a very useful feature. Okay, so we turn on operator 1, 2, 3, 4, and see what we need to do next. Okay, so we need to move our mouse over output level. So that's for each operator to check output level. Okay, let's do that. So, okay. Now, if you move the mouse over those knobs and so forth, now just you see the big character Dex on the interface, and just below that, there's this little screen there that tells the number of that or value of each parameter. And so if you look at that, keep looking at it and move the mouse over envelope. Must be tired. You can see that the display changed to OP1, operator 1, egg, so envelope. Level 1 is 99. So this is how you can check the value of the parameter. And what we want to do is to look at the output level. And the Dex, in Dex, they call it just level, just about next to key velocity sensitivity. Basically, directly underneath that operator number. So you got the operator number 1, and just underneath that, it's called level, and that's the output level. At the moment, it's 95. Move on to next. Directly below the number 2, operator 2, and you get the level is 78. Operator 3. 99. The operator 4 is 75. So that's the output level. Now it's important to learn to check those parameters first before making changes as well. You will go through a lot of tutorials, and you learn that how it is important understand how that patch was designed first, then you develop the plan attack, you kind of have some idea of how you're going to go about make changes, and you try. Okay, so what's next? Here you go. So this is a result of the output level result of the investigation we did, and that is a little table there that tells you the operator 1, from operator 1 to 4, the output level. And so we're going to change that to this value here, that the table next to that original table. So we're going to adjust output level for operators 2 and 4 by adding up to 4 increments. Set output levels 82 and 79 respectively. Now, so because of the drop in that amount of that's right, the amount of level 2, so we're going to compensate that by pushing the limit of the output level a bit higher. Let's do that. I'm going to change the scene, go back to the Dex, and we're going to make change to output level 2 and 4. So output level 2 at the moment 78, so we're going to add the 4, so it's going to go up to 82. Okay, and up to level 3, up to level 4, that's right, gonna make changes. Output level 4, so we're gonna bump up to 79. Done. Okay. So now, turn on all operators and play the new improved tubers patch. So we got operator 1, 2, 3, 4 is on. We're gonna turn on operator 5 and 6. So we're gonna change. I'm gonna change the scene. Here we go. And let's do that. So operator 5, turn it on. Operator 6, turn it on. Now you can see operator 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 and the algorithm screen directed above the keyboard in the middle of the middle and just above the keyboard. So we're gonna just press a key and find out what sounds like. So now, can you hear the difference between the original and this tuber? I think we can. I'm gonna change the scene. Just go through the slides. Oh, sorry. Okay. So next step, okay, that's going to be the next, it could be next episode for us. So what we done is to, that's right, we changed the envelopes and they give that little bit of, what do you call it, the first decay, so the initial attack and decay, that gives that enough kind of metallic tone at the initial attack. And give a bit more punchy tubers, you can say. Yeah, you can definitely hear that the nice attack tone there. Okay. Okay. All right. So that's the, I guess, conclusion of this first session, because the second section actually involves a lot more, and the original DX7 tubers tutorial I basically divided in 3 sections. I didn't do the live session like this, but actually I timed out and it gets quite long, so I have to kind of break it up. So this is the first part of that, and we can quickly revise what we've done. Is basically we changed the envelopes. Again, I mentioned about to give that use a DX7 flexible envelope generator to get the 2DK to create a 2DK type envelope. So let's go back to the original slide. Just check the scene. Yeah. Okay. So the first slide is checked. The initial, the earliest slide we see. Yeah, that's that. So original envelope, single decay type. It's ADSR type envelope without the sustain. And this is a new envelope, the DX7 flexible envelope generator, to have the first decay and second decay. So it's got a 2 decay type envelope. So that's what we did. So that just a slight, slight change in envelope. So you got level 1, 99, level 2 is 95, and that with controlling light of the initial decay and the secondary decay gives that a nice metallic tone, sharper, more, got a bit more, I guess, realism to it rather than just single decay type bang, but actually have that the attack tone bang, and it's got the burn, the decay tone. So that's the simple change that we made and make it a bit more, I guess, kind of realistic but more lively DX7 bells. Yeah, it's DX7 bell is famous, but yeah, this gives a, I guess, more, let's say, it's more versatile bells. I guess you can see that. Okay, so yeah, we've done the session for nearly 40 to 45 minutes, and if we start the next session, it's gonna take I think over 2 hours or so. So it's too long, so I have to cut it that shorter. So revision, covered that. It's part 1. So next step. So what we're gonna do is to go over next step for next sessions. Okay, so just gonna send a message to everyone. Let's say, yep, the tube bell tutorial will be we have 2 sessions. We concluded the first sessions, and the second session will go really deep dive into FM synthesis. So what I like to do is to have questions for this tube bell sessions. So if you have any questions for this session, please let me know. So I have a Q&A session for this tutorial live stream. So we just look at the part 1, and if you have any question, let me know. And yeah, so this is actually a good start to learn at the FM synthesis, and my focus is to get people, I guess, understand the envelopes, how the envelopes work. So that's the main kind of theme for this session. All clear so far. So Gabriel answered. Okay, that's good news. Gabriel, thanks for that. Yeah. And again, my original DX7 tube bell tutorials was designed for people just starting the FM synthesis journey. So start with simple sections, and just the next session is going to be a bit complicated and so forth. So just introducing a little bit of a concept at the time. And so because FM synthesis, yeah, it's very, very, very tricky. Took me ages to figure it out, many months, years. I'm still learning, more from the DX7. Still got a has still a lot to offer, and so yeah, it's very, very deep. Thank you for that. Yeah, I wanted to make sure that we can start small and steady and gradually build up our knowledge and skills in FM sound design. So these sessions are designed for people starting a FM synthesis journey. There are also people who don't really understand the FM synthesis but like to know more about it, and they want to start somewhere. Not sure about the DX7 interface. That's fine. We got Dexed. We can cover that. So that's the aim of the this Dexed session. So the next step, we're gonna kind of cover something more different. It's gonna be more complex stuff. So I wouldn't say much because we can find out in the next sessions. Okay, yeah. Okay, DX802. Yep. Yes, you can have Dex, and that will be the same. Yeah, I have the TX802 as well. That's good. Yeah, so you can use Dex to get do some sound tweaking, and I'm sure you can send a Dex data into that DX7 or the module version TX802 or TX7. So that's probably a good way to learn how to do the programming on the FM synthesis. So nice machine, yeah, that's true. TX802, yeah. It's my dream is to work on that lot of FM drum sounds and then use it as a FM drum machine. TX802, that would be awesome. So okay, how those Dex users are you guys okay? Is the interface much intuitive? Than the DX7? No, I'm quite comfortable with the DX7 interface because I've been using that since 1986. But for people starting out or just FM is just too complicated. Yeah, go with the Dex and learn as much as you can, and you can start work on a DX7 and so forth if that's what you want. But yeah, I think Dex is a good starting point. So guys, if you guys got any more questions, let me know. Any more questions? It surely is. Yep. That's what I thought. Hopefully people starting with Dex will love synthesis in the near future. All right. So you guys understand DX envelopes. Each way, okay. So Gabriel replied, said he has a MIDI quest editor to make sounds for TX, and it's simpler than the DX7, the Mark 1, but with Dex it's much easier. So that's good to know. Yeah. So any more questions? Just a quick question. Is there a way to replicate DX Mark and pitch envelope bug so that I can import them to my Mark 2 on VST and they still sound the same? Okay, so this viewer P2XO EUF Nono said that he wants to find a way to replicate DX Mark 1 pitch envelope bug so I can import and they still sound the same. Oh, that's interesting. I've never tried that. That's interesting. I've never tried that. Yeah, if it's bug, then it's probably to do with some kind of hardware software within the DX7 are causing it. And if the DX7 Mark II is fixed, the problem is a pitch envelope problem that the DX7 Mark I's got, then it's best bet. Yeah, okay. They sound so different when into my BSD. Okay. Yeah, I don't have a answer for that. It's the probably the quickest way to do something like that would be to try that. Maybe you can try setting what's it called DX7 Mark II to pitch envelope similar. Basically, Santa, could I send you a Swiss bank so that you can compare BST Mark and DX7? Compare BST. Yeah, I don't. Oh, BST. Okay. What VST do you use? Dexed. So he's asking that. That's right. So pitch envelope. So that the Mark II and the BST, they sound different to Mark 1 because of the pitch envelope. Yeah, I understand what I mean. The pitch envelope can be a bit touchy with the DX7. So just wondering. So if this person, Dex and FM7, okay. Okay, BST, so BST is different. Okay. Okay, it will be better. So if you have audio recording of the DX7 Mark 1, then with DX7 Mark 2 and BSTs. send back to you, and you can check yourself and see if you can do something. Okay, gander audio, and then my best. So yeah, so he can send. Okay, so I would suggest you to send me audio files first. I want to hear the sound, and then I can probably what do you call it? I can maybe provide advice based on that, whether you need to send me audio the your DX7 what I got sys files or not. So it would be better if you can have audio recording. Yeah. You can send me that audio file first. Yeah. So up here it's explaining about how DX7 Mark 1's pitch envelopes behave different to DX7 Mark II, yeah, as well as the VST, so Dexed and the FM7. I've got FM8, and he likes to find out why it's that. And my suggestion would be, okay, yeah, record the sound first, because then kind of you can explain describe to me how you put it, and if you can do the recording without making any changes in terms of sound going to the that's the patch that's going to DX7 Mark II and the VST, and if you know, basically there's the same as the DX7 Mark 1. They can explain it to me how you play or so forth, whatever, and it's you know, if there's weird things going on, and I kind of listen to that and then make a suggestion based on that. So okay. So any more questions? Any more questions around the Tube Bell live sessions? Now, if no more questions on the live this live stream session, I think we can call off the session. Call off the session soon, and yeah, we can. I'll be planning to have second sessions. If there's more demand, I may run this same session next week, and next one's gonna be the week after, and so forth. So more people can join. If people have a busy schedule and so forth, maybe they can join the next week. So okay. Yeah, thanks for your feedback. Yeah, I'm working full time and trying to keep my channel going. It's a challenge, so yeah, it may take a while to make more what's called more 80s song covers. Yeah, so yeah, I'm just replying to these viewers. It's about the my tutorial session. He's happy with that, and yes, he said level 42 song, which one is it? Level 42. It says learning in the family. Layered brass with just one patch for fun. Wow, yeah, that'd be great. At the same time, because I'm working full time and trying to keep this channel going, it's really a challenge for me. So yeah, it may take a while to get to that kind of sound design, but at the moment, focusing more tutorials. I think that's really useful too. But anyway, thank you for patience. Yeah, it's a long journey. Thank you, Mr. Yoda. Thank you very much. All right, I think we can kind of finish off. Yeah, we will call it off. We'll finish this session and see you soon. So okay, we will finish. Thank you. Bye. Yep. So we're gonna finish this session, and a mail session is coming next week. So yeah, I hope you guys had a great time to learn it. FM synthesis. It's very complicated, and it's very scary with all this algorithm and stuff. I totally understand that because I've been there with many painful memories and frustrations. But yeah, I come to love my DX7. It's a great journey, kind of discovering something unique thing about DX7. So yeah, I'd like to share that my the joy of learning FM synthesis to the world. So that's how I started this YouTube channel. So thank you, and let's see. Thank you and see you. Okay, so I'm gonna end the session. So thank you and see you. Bye. Okay. So see you later.